This is Matt, and decided I'd send you a tape. This is June the 12th at about 2:30 in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and I'm home alone and it's quiet and I have some free time, and I thought I would take this opportunity to just try to fill up a tape to send back and let you know what things are doing out here. Graduation was last week back, it was the 4th, June 4th, on a Saturday, and all the students graduated and left school, and then I had the opportunity to, a couple of wrestlers asked me to go backpacking with them, and so we went from Sunday, the next day, Sunday to, we were going to go from Sunday the 5th to Sunday today, and so I decided to go with them. And since I was going to go with them, Pat decided to go up with Mindy and visit her mom for a week, so they left on Friday the 3rd. The day before graduation, Mindy got out of school and left because she had to go to work on Monday the 6th. So Pat's been gone since Friday the 3rd, and then the guys started getting ready on Saturday, and we left on Sunday to go backpacking, and we weren't supposed to come back till today, but we got snowed out. Wednesday night it started raining really hard, and then on Wednesday morning it started snowing. About 6 o'clock in the morning it started snowing, and we were going to try to, felt it was late in the spring and summer starting, that the snow would blow over, but by 11 o'clock there was 3.5 inches of snow, and we were getting wet, and we were up around 11:05, and we only had enough wood for 2-3 more hours, so we felt that even if it stopped snowing, and that night it would get tremendously cold, and 2 of the sleeping bags were really wet. So we decided we'd better pull out and head back down to about 8,000 elevation. We were at 10.5, and 8,000 was a place named Post Corral. It was the last place before you had to pack out and take the car. And so we started dropping back down, and on the way down we ran into this man and boy. The man was about 30 years old, and the boy was 9 years old or 8 years old. And they were going to hypothermia, and the guy's hands were fleshy white and shaking uncontrollably, and his legs were going numb, and they were along the side of the trail trying to get a fire started, and we stopped and went and kicked over a great big log and tried to find some dry wood, and finally got a fire started and got some hot tea and took all their clothes off and started rubbing them down, and we got into all our backpacks and got all our extra clothes out and put it around the boy and the man, and finally we got him to stop shaking, and then we decided that we'd have to take him out. So we started going on out, and we got down to the place where we wanted to possibly decide whether we were going to stay or not, and we had to cross this river, and it was really well swollen. It was 3 times as big as when we come up, and we had to strip down to our waist and wade across, and it was up to our hips, and we threw a rope across and hang on to a rope so it wouldn't sweep us downstream, and finally got across. And when we got across, we were pretty soaked down, and that guy had our clothes on, and we couldn't ask for him back because they were in bad shape. So we took the man and the kid on out. We had like a 16-mile hike in one day to make it out, and finally got into the cars at 9 o'clock that night, and got the man on the road and out. He stayed at the motel, and then we had to drive back to L.A. We got in at 5 o'clock on Friday morning, so our week was cut a little short, but it was just really beautiful country. It's the first time I've went so high where only could get in by walking, and we got in Sunday night and camped at the Dinky Creek Forest Service Station area. That was the place where you had to start walking in, and then we started walking in Monday, and total between the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we walked 35 miles. We had about 60-pound packs on our back, and so it was really hard going, but it was just tremendously beautiful country. We took over 80 pictures. I hope they come out. I'm anxious to see how they did. But anyway, my backpacking trip was cut short by 2 or 3 days, and it was tremendously beautiful to just wake up in the morning and see all the snow falling, and it was just really beautiful and breathtaking trip. It was just nice to get out and hang loose, get away from school. It was a neat way to kind of finish up finals week and just really get away from it all. And I really enjoyed it. Pat's been up at her mom's, so I called her Friday night and told her that I was home early, and so she's going to let me know what time she would be coming back, so I anticipate a call any time to let me know when she's coming. I'm sure she'll come Monday night at the latest, but hope that she might come tonight, home tonight. This is Sunday night. This is the only time that the guys could go backpacking, and so Wednesday was our anniversary, and I had mixed feelings about leaving then, but Pat felt it would be okay and we'd celebrate later, and this way I'd have the opportunity really to spend some time with two of the guys and take a personal vacation of my own, and it worked out because Pat could ride up with Mindy, and then we'd only have to have one flight back to L.A., and it was really kind of neat because being away from Pat on our 9th anniversary, it just gave me more time to reflect, and I really thought in my mind about all our 9 years together and our dating years, and just really realize how neat a partner that God has given me, and just really cherish the years that we've had, and they've just really been neat years, and really Pat and I have riches beyond comprehension, and we just really are really rich people in what we have together, and then just really have cherished Elizabeth. She's just been a perfect, much more than I ever expected her to be, and I just really thank God, and being apart was maybe more even, the anniversary meant more to me, and I had time to really reflect, and I'm anxious to see them back, and it was really a good time. On Saturday before I left, Pat had left Friday already. I had went up to the local flower shop and had FTD deliver Pat flowers on Wednesday, and I know she would really like that, and so I think it was really probably one of my best anniversaries in that I just really was able to spend some quiet time and really reflect back on what God has really given me in my life and my wife. So that was really a neat time. I start my summer school class. It's called Curriculum and Design in Physical Education at Cal State Fullerton next Tuesday night on the 14th. I just got it out to see when I'd have to report. I go from 6 p.m. to 9:25 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday for 6 weeks. So I'll get out of summer school on July the 21st. It will be my last class period and last class, and this will be the last 3 units that I have to take, and I'm really glad that the opportunity to take this class opened up, because it sure relieves the pressure on me during school, when school is going, and I'm sure glad I'm getting down towards the end of the classwork, and the 6 weeks will really go fast, and so I'll get started on that. Pat and I have some plans for this summer as far as the house. I really need to get an air fan up in the roof. It just gets so hot up there, and it really makes the house hotter than it really should be. So I'm sure that if I get one of those thermostat fans up there to pull out the hot air during the day, it would help out. That's a priority. One thing I really need to do with Elizabeth here, it's really made it kind of tough for her to sleep in the afternoons. So that's one priority that we want to do, and we're thinking about getting a small air conditioner also, and so that's one of the first projects that we do want to work on. I do need to do some more electrical work. We're always flipping breakers, and so having to put a line up to that fan, and maybe I can do a bunch of work at once. And those are some of the summer projects around the house. I noticed that the eaves are peeling on the south side of the house, and rather than paint the house all at once, maybe I can do a little bit at a time. So that's probably another summer project I'll be working on. Some of the trees need to be trimmed, and I'll probably be doing some of that stuff. The pool needs a little bit of work too. I need to make a new box for my pump area because it fell all apart. So that's some of the things that I would like to do this summer. I haven't got a job yet. I don't know whether I will or not. have mixed feelings, because if I get a job, it really takes my time away from Pat, and summers are really a neat time where we get to spend together and do family things and don't have to worry about scheduling for wrestling or preparing for class and teaching and stuff. And so we're mixed between whether we want the extra money or the extra time together, and I think probably we're going to take the extra time together and just spend it around home and spend it with Elizabeth. Sure hope Steve would come to Biola. I don't know what his desires are, but I do know that Biola has got a lot of quality teachers, and it has a lot of options in programs that he could take. It seems like Biola has everything that he really needs. Just pray that maybe God will provide maybe some government aid so that really encourage him to come to Biola. It's been kind of neat that Dave and Jack came, because it's like I really got to know my brothers again. Dave wasn't too bad because I was only away from him 4 years, and then he came. But like Jack was 8 years gone, and Steve was only in 6th grade when I left, so I really don't know Steve too well, and it's neat to get to know Dave and Jack, and it would be neat if Steve would come out here, but I know that he has to go where he would be happy, or he would not do a good job. Biola is be hard, but it's not impossible. I have guys here that really, I just can't believe how they made it out of high school, let alone make it in Biola, and yet they just seem to make it. They got to have that desire to want to be here, though, and I know that Steve will have to come to that place. It's kind of neat that they're starting a radio broadcasting program in school next year. In fact, it looked like they were putting it in yesterday. I walked by a school, and it looked like they were putting it in bringing in the equipment, and it's going to be hooked into the dorms, and they'll have a campus radio station, and that'll be kind of neat. They'll announce all kinds of stuff, and it'll really be good practice. And I know the drama programs are tremendous. They just really do a tremendous job in that area. And then you've got your Christian Ed program. That's one of the best in the nation. And then you've got your camping and your physical education programs. So there's a lot of options. All those seem to be interests that Steve has. So he would really have a lot of areas, or maybe we could take a combination of these areas. I know that being at Biola is really a neat place, and it would be a good opportunity. It's really a strong accredited credential, and when you come out, I think you really do have something. Pat and I really want to get together with you this summer, and for sure, if you can't come out, we'll probably be coming back. We'd prefer that you'd come out, because then we could take you up to see Dave and Debbie too, and enjoy taking you around some of the mountain areas in California, or just relax around our pool and swim a lot. But however the Lord leads, it would be fine with us. If all else fails and we can't persuade you to come, I suppose we will come back probably in August to visit. For sure, we want to get together one way or the other, and however your plans turn out, we will probably adjust accordingly. If I remember right, you said somewhere in the middle 2 weeks of August is Dad's vacation, and for sure we expect you out here at that time, or we expect to be back there at that time too. So whatever the Lord would lead, and who can come back would be fine. I haven't heard from Dave for a while. Last I heard, he was really trying to go after that job. I guess with no news, he probably did not get the job, but he was really happy at Sonoma. I think Sonoma is really a neat place, so I'm sure that he's doing fine up there. I haven't heard whether he got his summer job yet or not. Pat might have made some contact up there this week. I don't know whether she has or not. We are going back up in another week. Her mom doesn't know it. It's a special anniversary. I don't know which one it is. It's a high number, and so Pat's doing a surprise. She's kind of organizing a surprise anniversary for her mom and dad, makes it kind of hard because I'm just starting my class, but I'm going to cut a Thursday and then come back on a Tuesday. So on the I think it's the 21st on Tuesday. That'd be my third class period. My second Tuesday. The next Wednesday we'll leave early on the 22nd, and I would be cutting the 23rd class, and then we'd be coming back on Monday the 27th, and then I'd get back in time for my Tuesday class. So I'd only miss one class. I just don't miss classes often. In fact, I hardly ever do, and Pat really jumped on me and says, it's not the end of the world if you miss a class. So I guess it's going to work out that way anyway. I hope there's no assignments on that night. But that would give us from let's see, then Wednesday the 22nd to Monday the 27th. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full days to go up to San Francisco. And I think the 25th is the day that they have their anniversary on Saturday the 25th. And I think they've scheduled a whole weekend deal, like everybody in the family comes down on Friday the 24th, and they go out for breakfast, and or they meet together 24th that evening and they do some activity, and then 25th is Saturday that morning they go out for breakfast, and I guess they got the whole weekend planned. The family's doing something, and Pat's all excited about it anyway, and I think it's going to really surprise her mom, because Pat had the opportunity to go up this last week, and she surely won't expect her back up in 2 more weeks, and so we'll be going back up to San Francisco that end of June, and doing her mom and dad's anniversary. Elizabeth is walking now. When she left here on the Friday, she was just starting to maybe let go of things and walk a short distance on her own. She has for a couple weeks been walking to Pat and I across the room, but usually only with encouragement and only to somebody. But Pat said that this Friday, I called last night, that she was on her own, walking really a lot on her own, and we took her to the doctor. I went with Pat on Thursday before she left the Friday. That would be on the 2nd of June, and she got a clean bill of health, Elizabeth did, and she got some type of shot to see if she had a reaction to it or something like that, and she's doing fine. Then she took a blood thing out of her finger, and the nurse was just really amazed. Elizabeth didn't cry at all. Since the first baby, she's never had to cry, and I think because Elizabeth was sitting on my lap, and I was holding her, and the lady pricked her roof, and Elizabeth looked at the blood coming out of her finger like, wow, what is this? And she was all curious, and she would just look at the lady with big eyes, and she would look at the blood, and she wasn't scared at all, and she's just like it was part of the routine of the day or something, and the nurse was super impressed. Elizabeth is in the 98th percentile in size. I don't know who she's getting it from, but she's really a big girl. She looks like she's the size of the 1 year and 1 month old babies. Just gigantic as far as size. And the doctor said she was in the 98th percentile. So she's getting it from somewhere, I guess, in one of the 2 families. But she's really healthy and bright-eyed, and doctor said that everything is really fine, and she's doing really well, good coordination and everything. We had a really good spring with the wrestlers. It was pretty relaxed, but we did a lot of activities together and had a neat awards banquet. We had a dinner at Knott's Berry Farm, and I treated all the guys through our fundraising program, and we took a trip down to the Colorado River between Arizona and California, and we had one fundraising jogathon, and so we did quite a few activities, but we really had a lot of fun. The guys did a lot of things together, and I think the team is really very close. One of the wrestlers has been having trouble with drinking, and we had to take disciplinary action with him. He kind of volunteered the information, which was, really kind of, good that he did that, but still, it's a clear-cut rule that there is no drinking. He realized he was breaking the rule, and so we have taken a strong stand against it, and we've suspended him from the team for a year, and he is possibly could come back on the team if his behavior changes within the next year. I don't know where, he has to make a decision now whether he wants to really commit to a different lifestyle or not. So he's one of the better wrestlers, but yet God has really rewarded us for making a commitment and standing by it, and there's been some pretty good recruits coming in for next year, and hopefully if we get one more really good one, we'll really have a pretty solid team. Possibly have assistant coach that wrestled for the University of Oklahoma. His name is John Jackson. Tremendous wrestler. He's had tremendous experience on the large school level, and he's going to come to Talbot Seminary, and just really talked with him for about 4 hours one day, and he just really seems to be able to fit into what we want to achieve at Biola College. Really excited about working with possibly some Christian athletes and the opportunity to help him get experience in the area of coaching, although he's going to go into the ministry. So if he comes on our team, it'd really add a lot. He's a big guy. He's 190 pounds, so he could wrestle with some of the bigger guys on our team. Jimmy Blagg would really be good for him. So he hasn't committed yet, but I just pray that the Lord, I feel it's comfortable that he would really fit into the program and that he'll be able to work with it. So it's some exciting things for next year. We have one really good recruit from New Mexico at 150 pounds is coming in. And we have another recruit that's trying to decide is a 190 pounder, and he's really good. He's just as good as Jim, and so we could really bolster our team up for next year as far as even quality wrestlers. But there's been tremendous growth in all the individuals on the team, especially some of the guys that aren't the best wrestlers have had tremendous growth, and the opportunity to be on the wrestling gospel team and go around to churches is really and be in a comfortable situation in a wrestling uniform. The guys have been able to some of the guys have never ever testified before, have been able to stand up before people and testify, and have been able to really nurture their speaking skills, and it has really been a lot of growth last year on the wrestling gospel team. Marilyn has applied for Biola and has been accepted, so any unforeseen change or something, it looks like she will be at Biola next year. Mindy really loves Biola now. She really was emotional about leaving, excited about vacation, but still really felt the attachment to school. It's funny how freshmen come in and struggle, and finally, they just more and more get attached to Biola and realize what they're really opportunities that they do have. And so we're excited about both of them being down here next year. This summer, Mindy is working for the Forest Company again, like she did that whole 1 year in that summer, and she was excited about getting back to work. Marilyn will be working with Pat's mom in the art gallery this summer, allowing Pat's mom to have a little bit more time off. So she's more to that type of work. Marilyn's more like Pat, and Mindy's more outdoorish, more like Bonnie, and it's kind of neat that they have a sister to kind of navigate to or go to. But Pat's really excited about both of the twins being down here next year. It does mean her parents do come down more and visit more, and Pat always likes that. It's a nice, sunny, warm day. It's not hot. It's very comfortable. A nice little tiny breeze coming through, and I have my new grasses up, and all the flowers are out, and the pool's all clean, and the grass is cut, and house is clean, and so it's just really very comfortable out. I guess it's time for some company to come or something, or like that. But it's just really neat out in our backyard. It's like you're sitting in the middle of Hawaii, and it's really comfortable sitting here. And as I look out in the sun on the green, and it's really a neat place. I really like California. I really am comfortable here. Everybody seems to gripe about being in Los Angeles, but I just really feel comfortable here. While we were out backpacking, we had some time off. I was able to do some reading. I read Born Again by Colson. That was the special counsel to President Nixon, and it was really a good book, and enjoyed reading it. And it just really is amazing how when Christ comes into a man's life, he can really change it around and completely change a man's inner nature. And it just really was exciting to see how God had worked in Colson's life, and yet it's really sad to see how man is just, every man has that evil potential in him, no matter how good they are, and how it's easy to get caught up in moral decay of the society and how these men, had all of them, just really sharp, neat men, and just really are committed to the United States and the government, but because of their commitment to a job and a goal, compromised their moral standards, and it was neat to see a man changed by experience with Jesus Christ, and it really is a neat book. I think it's really going to have an effect on a lot of people who read the book. This summer I hope to do some more reading. There's a lot of books that I really want to get into, and maybe this summer, since I'm not going to work, I'll be spending more time with Pat reading and lounging around the pool and relaxing. We have to report in September the 7th is our first requirement for reporting, so I have a full 3 months now to relax, and just my class is the only really looks like responsibility that I will have this summer. So it's really kind of neat. I really like my job. It's the kind of job where you buckle down and work, but then you have really summer's pretty free, and I just really thank God that He's given me a neat place to work. And sometimes it's easy to gripe about the salary and stuff, and then you realize how much you really have and the opportunities that are here at Biola. Pat has really enjoyed staying home. I don't think she's even been lonesome for it at all. She's visited a couple of times, but she just really is enjoying Elizabeth. It's just you could really see that she really loves her and spends lots of times with her and plays with her, and I don't think Pat could ever go back to work and leave her. I think if she did, it would only because it would be a must for us to live, and she really enjoys it, and God has really supplied our needs. We've been able to meet all our bills, and He's really answered. Every time we've had a need, it's been supplied, and it's really neat that the home and the job that we have. Got a letter from Jack the other day, and sounds like he's doing okay. He's studying hard for his exam. I talked to Professor Dill, who came from high school. He's a CPA, and he worked at Biola one year, then he just quit this year and went back because his wife didn't get the job that he thought she would get, and so he has to go back into high school so he can make enough money to make it. But I talked to him a while. He was a real nice guy, and I got to know him a little bit, and he said he had several contacts of like big businesses. I think they were big five that Jack talked about, but one of them was in Oklahoma, and he said that he would give me the names of these guys, and so if Jack wanted some more contacts or something, told him that Jack might be interested, and if it wasn't too much to give them to me. He'll probably forget, so I'll have to call him and follow up on it, but he's had his own CPA, his own personal business. He's worked for a company, and then went into his own business, and now he's back in high school teaching accounting, and it was really good for Biola because not too many accountants want to teach because they can make more money in the business, and so he was really good. The head of the department, the business department, has retired, that Livingston guy, so that left 2 openings, and they've hired in from what I understand, he's supposed to really be a big wig. Guy's really supposed to have tremendous experience in the area. This new guy is coming in and taking over the department, so sounds like they're really going to build up the business department. There's been a lot of talk about this guy's coming in, so he's a big name. I don't know who he is, but they're pretty excited about him coming into Biola. I did talk to Professor Dill and ask him, how Biola's program prepared the kids, whether it was a good program, and he says he thought it was a tremendous program. He says it wasn't as comprehensive or extensive as state colleges as far as offerings, but he said the courses that they did have really prepared the guys well, and he thought it was really an adequate program, and seemed to be very positive, and it was encouragement since he's been out in the field and seemed to know what was the best for the type of program that we needed. Pat did a good job this year in starting the Pioneer Grove program at our church. It's kind of a neat program because it goes along with the school. It's only 9 months, so Pat is free in the summertime. I guess it's neat for the teachers anyway. I don't know about the kids. It seems like the kids would be going on a vacation a lot and be sporadic anyway. So I think it's a neat program, and it's really good for us, and it got Pat involved in something, and she really had a ministry there on Wednesday nights, and now when I'm free in the summer, she's free too. So I really like the program, and Pat really had a lot of fun working with the kids this year. Pastor Frank has resigned from Bethel Baptist. It was really sad for Pat and I to see him go. We know that we've really had tremendous spiritual growth in the 5 years that Pastor Frank's been there. We just really feel that we've come to a point where we really realized what a full commitment to Christ was in those years, and it could have been another pastor that did it, but it was Pastor Frank that we really matured under, and we just really appreciate his ministry that he's had towards us, and it was really a key time and spiritually in our lives, and it was really a sad day when he gave his last sermon and left. He's still going to be around. He's taken the challenge of told the church that he just has loved working with youth, and now he's got 450 of them of his own, and he's really excited about the opportunity to really work with them. But I really think the main reason that he has taken the job is that he's been on the board the last I don't know how many years he's been on the board, but I think they're in tremendous financial problems. I heard that they were $77,000 in debt and were close to closing down, and I just really feel that Pastor Frank has taken the challenge to pull them out, move down from the board level to the administrative position of principal. And if anybody can do it, can raise the money, he can do it. And I really feel that's what the Lord has called him to. He's seen that the school is in trouble, and that he really feels that he wants to pull it out. And although he didn't say that, I kind of almost feel that that's the main reason that he took the job. He'll probably be visiting church a lot, and then he'll be speaking a lot on Sundays at other churches, and I think he's really felt that the Lord was really calling him. It was really a neat fellowship that we had while he was here, and there was no problems at all, and it was really a sad day for everybody when he left the church, but yet everybody knew that it was the Lord calling him, and that if the Lord was our strength during those 5 years, if we really matured in the Lord and we weren't Pastor Frank and that we were able to still continue on with the sweet spirit that we do have in our church. So the board is out now looking for a pastor, just like you guys were a few years ago, or a year ago.
Well, I'm finally getting around to my turn on this tape. That's been asking me to finish it for a couple days, and it seems like we've been having something going ever since I got back from Mom's house. Right now I'm just trying to straighten up things around the house, and Elizabeth's coming behind me kind of messing up things as I go. She is really getting around. She just walks all over the place, and she can climb over things, and she just gets about anywhere she wants to go. She plays out in the back room quite a bit. That seems to be a good place for her to play. There's nothing out there that she can hurt or that can hurt her. She just got to pulling everything out of my dresser. I'd like to go in and take everything out of my drawer. Pretty soon I'll have to teach her how to put it back. Well, last night we were down at my Aunt Marilyn's house. Dale and their oldest daughter graduated from high school, and they had a big party, something like the one they had for Jack when he graduated. And so I went down the day before yesterday and helped them get some stuff ready. And then yesterday I made some jello and made some other things for me. And last night we went down and helped Marilyn get set up. We had it after the graduation, and there must have been about 40 people in and out that came. Got rid of most of the food. They did a pretty good job eating, but it was very nice. And they had a group of a lot of kids, and we also had a group of Marines there, which I wish I'd met to their kids. There's a Marine base close by, and so they invited these guys over, and